Greetings and welcome to SmartWatchTix.com. Inside this box is the brand new Cosbet Tank M1. You got it right. Doesn't it look familiar? It looks a little bit, like the Cosbet Rock. Last year's hottest seller. This is a 3-atmosphere. See it on the case design there. Smartwatch that, wow, it just blew everybody away. Well, the Tank M1 is 5 ATM. It's even more waterproof with more capability, and we are going to dig into this puppy right now. Inside the box are all kinds of goodies. First of all, they shipped it with 2 bands. Now, I don't know if it will come with 2 bands standard, but hopefully you will, or you can order an extra one. We've got a black one and a camo one. We're going to put the camo on the watch and show that to you. And before we unveil it, let me tell you a little bit more about it. I don't have much in the way of overall literature other than the picture that we've got, but now we've got the actual watch that you can look at, and the fact that it's being released globally in a worldwide unveil today, the 10th of February, and you're looking at it here live in our overall review. I did manage to get some basic specs in a spreadsheet from them, okay? The Cosbet Tank M1. By the time you're looking at this, it may already have the full specs online, but while I'm shooting it now and getting it ready for you, I don't have access to that. So these are the specs that it's shipping with. It could change over time. I doubt it, but gives you a basic idea. 380 milliamp hour battery, a polymer type battery. Look at that. Standby of 50 days, daily use 15 days before having to charge it. We're looking at version 5.0 for Bluetooth. That's great. No GPS in this one, just like on the Rock. You're looking at 5 ATM and something amazing, IP69K waterproof. This is in adherence with a mil spec in terms of its solidity, its invulnerability to all the different environmental things out there. 1.72-inch TFT IPS display, coming in at 280 by 320, and you'll see all that as we light into it. Here are the languages it's supporting. Uses the DaFit tethering app, and there's your sizes and dimensions. So that's what I've got in terms of overall specs so far. The watch itself is rather large, but then again, so was the Rock. It's rectangular in shape, special metallized coatings on here. Beautiful, beautiful design, very solid. Got a little cover on the back, 2 charging ports that go then with the actual charging unit itself. This gets attached here, nice and sturdy. You can hold the watch by the charger, so you won't have any trouble with it falling off on you. We'll get into the watch after we go deeper in here. We've got a little Cosbet card, which has got a thank you on it, 1-year warranty, 24/7 service, even QR codes here for the official store and their Facebook group. Cool, huh? Oh, and by the way, we've got a special link for you in the show notes for purchasing this one or any of the Cosbet watches, so make sure you take advantage of that. We have an extra screen protector. That's right, it ships already with a screen protector on it. And look at the custom design on this thing. It's got a special cutout, hard to get it to focus, to actually fit the watch face itself. But you got an extra one if you need it. Then there's the overall manual, the Tank M1. Diving into this, we've got the power button, the back button, and a quick look at all of the stuff in the manual. These oftentimes are hard to find online, so we take a moment and page through them. There, if you want, is the QR code to download DaFit, but I recommend you go directly to the Play Store or use our link in the show notes below the video to get over there. Talks about setting it up with the app. We're going to show you the app today as well. There's some things I want to point out to you. And charging tips. This is the English version of it. Here we go. Some more of the specs in detail in the manual. Get that whole thing in the picture. There you go. And then some safety tips and guidance for using it, and some troubleshooting. And I think that's about it. Yep. Now we switch over to different languages over here. And again, the contact us information that we showed you already. All right. I'm going to put it together for you. We'll charge it up and turn it on. Oh, here we go. I thought we had the link up already. If you want to pick up the Tank M1 or any of the Cospet products, bit.ly/Cospet. Just use that link. bit.ly/Cospet. Okay, let's turn it on. Here we go. We got a power button on the top. Press and hold. Give it a moment. It vibrated, coming up with the logo. They're blue with a gold crown on there. And here's a fun face. I picked this one out to show you. There's their tank. I mean, they're calling it the Tank M1, so they got to have a tank on it, right? Interesting. 1111, we're popping in as we do this review. Slide down. You got all kinds of goodies here. Here's the brightness control. I can whip that puppy up really bright. Let's look at that tank again. Wow. Yeah. You got a really nice viewing angle, too. So you can use this outdoors, indoors, on the ski slopes, in the desert, wherever. Lowest level is about there. I'm going to run it about 2, I think, so our colors are about the right saturation. Special theater mode turns off vibration and turns down the brightness, so you get extra long battery life out of it. And it's not going to be too bright in the dark. Turn that off. There you go, and it switches back over here to full lit with vibration. 100% charge. This is if you want to go into a low power mode. You turn that on, and it's going to reduce your overall power. Come back over here is where we normally run it. We have got remote shutter for taking pictures as a button with your phone. Since you might be doing a lot of activities and set your phone up in different places, it's great to have that quick access to remote shutter. Here's the overall weather in your area. Actually, this is set up, I believe, for Shenzhen, China right now. And temperatures in Fahrenheit or centigrade, whatever you'd like to select. And then settings. Settings gets us into where we have brightness control. You can shake to turn it on. I believe that's the twist your wrist to see the time type thing. Reset, about. When you go into about, you see it's called the Tank M1 for tethering. You've got power off and the overall QR code again for downloading the app. So you got access to the Fit app all kinds of different ways. That's all in the settings. We'll see that in another area, of course. But this is all of the controls that you get simply by swiping down. Swiping up takes you into messages, notifications sent from your phone when you set that up through the tethering app. You all know about that, right? Coming over here, we get our step count. Here's our daily steps, calories burned, and I guess distance traveled in here. Here's last night's sleep time. Yep, I gave it a whirl last night. And just like we saw on the rock, you've got this really great distribution graph that shows you your sleep throughout the night in terms of deep and light. A little bit of a short timeout, which is adjustable, of course. And then here's your 7-day information as well. So lots of statistics available on this watch. I didn't show you step count is in here too. A tiny little bit because I haven't done much yet, but there's your 24-hour steps from that card. Our sleep time information here. Our heart rate that's going to kick in now and measure back here. If I'm not touching, it's not going to give me a reading. So I got my finger on it. Anywhere I can find a good capillary in my body, it's going to give me a pulse. So it works on finger. It works nicely on the fleshy part of the wrist, which isn't affected by body skin color. So that's a good place to test sometimes when you need to. Timing out is triggering it to go off pretty quickly. You've got your low and your high, and of course it's going to give you your actual heart rate there. Exercise, you can turn on and go into any of these individual exercises, and there's just a whole ton of them here, including swimming, of course, being it's a 5 ATM watch. 5 ATM means it'll withstand 5 atmospheres. The equivalent of being at sea level is 1 atmosphere. Dumbbells even? Wow. So 5 means you can go underwater a really, really deep way. You can pretty much use this consistently underwater. Blood pressure, again, quickly recognizes that I don't have it on my arm. Put it here and activate it. It's going to give me systolic, diastolic, my regular readings, and so forth. Don't believe any of the data you're seeing right now because I'm just whipping through on a review. If I set it up properly on my wrist, get calm, sit at heart level, and all of that setup, then the readings are going to be more accurate. Blood oxygen, you saw it's going to do that with the red diode. It'll give me a reading generally between 94 and 100. Not sure why it's got these numbers because I haven't actually used it for that yet. Weather. Nice display, all that information. Oh, by the way, did we have more here? Oh, yeah, we do. We show the last 7 readings of that and of blood pressure, and exercise is just what it was, and then heart rate, the continuous heart rate chart. I keep forgetting that on these Cosbet watches, they give you way more data than we normally expect to see. Really, really well done. There's that photo shutter button again, and an onboard music player, and I guess it's set up to be playing Calm Radio over on the phone. I could activate it there and listen to it on the phone. There's no speaker in here, especially with that intense waterproofing, but you can remotely control from here. Okay, we go back this way. Whoops, that went down. We go back this way to the right, and this is sweet. Look how it gives you the little presentation of all of the different recently used apps that you've got in here with your weather and a little abbreviation of the time as well. That's a little slide out panel. It's all the further it goes, but it pops out and back at your leisure. If I press the power, it turns it on and off. If I press the back button, it gets me into the app drawer with all of the things we've seen already, plus more. There's like the music player. This is a breathe in, breathe out relaxation activity. This is where you can set up your alarms. Yeah, that was the music player. Okay, here's a stopwatch that you've got on board here. You can activate it, but you can't leave it. You can't exit it. So it's running continuous with the screen on while you have it running. You can actually take lap times with this one, but you have to stop it and exit it to get out of it. When you do, it clears it of all of its memory. Here's countdown timers that you can set that are pre-programmed in here. That's that theater mode thing. I want to turn that off. Here's your app, QR code. This is the different watch faces. So we'll choose a different one while we're here. Go back to the beginning. That's an interesting one. Okay. We were here, and there's your settings, and we looked at all of those. Don't see a way here on the phone, or on the watch, to change that timeout. So that all has to be done through the app, I believe. Okay, these are scrolling this way. There's 2 pages, and I was in page 2. So page 1, there's all of our fitness, or our step count, I guess. Here's our sleep time. All of the cards that we already saw, heart rate. This is the exercise area. That's your blood pressure area. This is blood oxygen area. So you have all 3 of those things in here. Then this is your weather and its forecast, the messages, and the little dot for taking the shutter picture. So your first page is what you see in all of the other cards, and then these are the rest of the things that you get access to by pressing that side button. In terms of other watch faces, we also can just press and hold on the screen and slide over. Show you've got quite a variety. I won't open them all up, but show you this. And in the app, we'll take a look in a moment, you have access to a whole bunch more. Here, we'll bring that up. I don't believe these are active. No, you can't like touch them and go into that information, but they are giving you the data on the screen. And yeah, lots and lots are already pre-programmed in here. And then you have a slot to put one in, which is this one that I added. And I thought this was really unique. Instead of focusing on time, they've made that little up here in the corner, and they're giving you your step count, as that's a big important thing, your heart rate, and your calories burned. Really, never seen that one before. It's one of many that you can select from the app, which we're going to switch to right now. This is the DaFit app in the Google Play Store. Once you get to it and download it, you can create an account, log in, do all of that stuff, tether the watch, and eventually you'll get to this main panel. And that's where we are today. We're going to take a look at some of the data I've collected already on the Tank M1. Here are the step count summaries. You can see the chart already accumulating by hour, the steps. You go into it, reverses color, you get a little bit more detail. You get weekly summaries, last 7 days performance. And what's cool about DaFit is it ranks you against everybody else. I'm down here at the bottom, but again, I'm only reviewing the watches, not really working out with them. Day, week, month, calendar, and all of that's available. Sleep time, something similar. You get a little chart showing you awake time, and it looks like light sleep and deep sleep in here. Tap into it. You get more detail. REM is actually, rapid eye movement is tracked on here as well. It's that orangish kind of a color. And you get a breakdown in a pie chart of your total time asleep into these different segments, and an assessment over all of your sleep quality, and it tells you a little bit about it. Cool, huh? Check this out. You're also getting an all-night heart rate, and it's giving you your average, or more or less your resting heart rate. You do have a lower heart rate. Occasionally you might hit that, and the highest, there's a range. And then your last 7 days trend. And again, an assessment against other people that have registered with the app that are in your age and gender and everything, and how well they sleep. Yeah, a lot of sophisticated detail across the board. Heart rate now, we're in the light area currently. This is the heart rate, and the last 7 trends are in here, and I can hit measure, and it lights up the watch. It'll start taking an instantaneous measurement, and it'll be added to the trend line down here. We're not seeing the continuous heart rate in this particular section, just an instantaneous measurement. You see it saying it's 86. It's still assessing that heart rate. Eventually it vibrates, settles down. There you go. It just added it to the end here and gave me 87 for my current heart rate. This is the continuous heart rate. This is measuring in the background now, and it's giving you your percentage or bar chart of the zones that you're in. So far, I've been sedentary all day, basically doing reviews. Took it off here, took a shower. We are here right now, and gives you the overall heart rate. Nothing shows up when you touch it, but you do have day, week, month, calendar, and that basic information for heart rate. Again, we've reviewed DaFit a lot. You've seen this before. Blood pressure, same kind of thing. It'll do instantaneous measurements. You can start it right here, trigger a measurement remotely. Really good if you have somebody in the other room behind closed doors, isolated because of COVID or something, and you want to measure heart rate and blood pressure and blood oxygen as well. You can get the readings here. I've only got one reading at 91%, which is erroneous. It's too low. I think that's when I was doing it with my finger, but you can set up individual measurements here. You don't get continuous blood pressure or blood oxygen readings. And outdoor running, this is where you can use your location and set up, your map against the Google Maps, your track, and actually do an exercise routine in combination with the watch and the phone. In terms of the device itself, it's showing you it's the Tank M1 power level. Watch faces we'll look at. You can set up your notifications and alarms, remote shutter. Other things you can do is set your time format, your units, your do not disturb window, reminders to move. If you want a sedentary reminder, you can turn these things on. You can do a battery savings things, and we saw that already from the watch itself. When you turn that on, it's going to give you longer battery life. Off is going to give you more data. You can set your language, and here's the auto lock. You saw it was turning off so quickly. I'm going to up it to 20 seconds and it'll stay on longer that way. Unfortunately, I haven't found a way you can change that within the watch, which would be nice to set it for really short at night and longer during the day, but you have to do it here in the app, but at least you can. Here's the twist your wrist to see the time, quick view, and you can set what periods so it doesn't do it during the night when you roll over. Water reminder, weather, where you have it set up for. physiological cycle for the ladies, but this watch doesn't seem to support showing that. But you can set that whole thing up here in the app if you want to, and take a look at the calendar and have it, well, maybe it sends you a message at 9 a.m. or whatever time you set here, and here's the calendar that you get when you set up all of the criteria, and it'll tell you where you are in your cycle and what your pregnancy chance is, which is pretty cool. And that's in this whole section on others, and then you can upgrade the device as well. In the watch faces now, you have these stock faces. There's the tank one we showed you in that first one. Here is the special one that I downloaded for you here. That's the one we've been looking at that has all of the step count, heart rate, and calories burned. And you have more watch faces here. Now, when it gets these from the server, you could pick any one of them that you want, and it'll replace that one specialty one that you've got on there, and you could add that onto the watch instead. So big selection of faces, as typical with the DaFit app. And of course, you have selectability amongst all of those. Something to match the camo if you want, or black. You can have an analog one that's kind of soft for nighttime, or a vibrant one for daytime. Yeah, it just goes on and on and on. Lots and lots of watch faces here. We'll let you explore them on your own when you get your device, because we could spend the rest of the day here on the watch faces. Okay, then the last thing is you've got your personal tab, where you can set up your overall profile, your goals, link it to Google Fit if you want to. In profile, you can set up gender, birth date, height, weight, and stride length, which is good for estimating your distance traveled using the pedometer. So that's the app, and this is the watch. And again, showing it to you up close, it is a really sturdy, well-built, waterproof for sure, smartwatch. Red and green diodes in here, a variety of watch faces. All in all, a really good watch. You can get this puppy directly from Cosbet. I don't have the product page yet up on it, but you can go over to bit.ly/Cosbet, and that'll get you right into the front door with a link that lets them know you saw this review here, and that helps me get more watches from them to review for you later. All right, we caught up. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you again soon.